Hey guys, wanted to tell you about two new shirts we've got going on in our merch store. First off, this shirt, the 0 days since last mod, is perfect for when you want to go to a car show or a track day and you've just modified your car. Wear it with pride. 0 days since last modification. We've got that in the store. And also, we've got this one. You remember the Nissan 370Z video from a couple weeks ago, and we came up with a funny joke. The joke was license, registration, and dyno sheet, sir. And that shirt is now available in the store. But you notice it's got a Z on it. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make that shirt with a whole bunch of different cars, so no matter what you drive, you can rep that shirt properly. So if you like that one, buy it now. If you want to see a different car on that shirt, leave a comment and we'll see what we can do. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first sunny day of my McLaren 570 GT loan. They dropped off this beautiful Pacific Blue 570 GT for me literally an hour before it started raining, and it didn't stop for 3 days. So it finally stopped raining, and I took a poll on Twitter to say, should I show off the practicality of the 570 GT by driving in the city, or should I take it up in the canyons where the roads will almost assuredly be a disaster? And you guys voted disaster, so here we are. The 570 GT is a lovely little thing that is the sister car to the 570S. Same car, same 3.8 liter dry sump V8, same 7-speed gearbox, same exterior bodywork mostly, except for a few touches here and there. The difference primarily is the interior. This gets really nice leather. The GT version is meant to be more of a daily driver. It gets a 1300 watt 12 speaker stereo. It gets a pop open glass hatch with a leather lined luggage compartment back here, which is actually extremely helpful. It has an optional standard steel brake, which as I'll demonstrate for the city, could be a very helpful thing if you can accept the reality of your usage. But it is still very much, as I will show you, a McLaren. So let's have a go up what is a very dirty road in Malibu today after a giant rainstorm. I can tell you, so far, the 570 GT is shockingly good in the wet. The performance of this car, granted at normal sedate speeds, in town, in sometimes pretty deep water, was very, very impressive, and it made for a very nice daily driver. McLaren's targeting this, and it's $189,000 base price at the Acura NSX, the new one, the R8, 911 Turbo S, that kind of stuff. The $150,000 to $220,000 daily drivable supercar. And so the 570S I drove on the track, and you can check out that video if you like to see how fast I can make one go anyway. Get some oversteer and that kind of stuff. But this is the street. So how is it on the road? Well, it's still too fast for the road. In the wet, even with traction control. Wait, look, here's third gear. So much power that you can actually overdrive it pretty easily. The brakes are really good, but you still have to watch because it builds speed with unbelievable violence and brutality. I like to think that it goes as fast as the speed of thought. If you think it can do it, it can do it. Another difference between the 570 GT and the S is the tires. The S has the Super Trofeo R race tire, R compound sticky track tire, whereas this has a standard P0 all-season tire, which some of you will be like, ew, but when it was raining the past 3 days, I really appreciated it. And frankly, if you were driving on it every day, you'd probably appreciate it too. This one's a little quieter than the 570S. This car does not have a sport exhaust on it. Sounds good, but I could use a little more volume. I don't know about you guys. Neither 570 car, the S or the GT, has the active sway bars that you get with the 650, and so instead you have a more conventional adaptive suspension, which rides really nice. The geometries of this car are good. The carbon tub and extruded aluminum chassis is very rigid, so it can let the suspension work. And even in the bumpy roads in the city, the ride quality is excellent. A little dirty over here. 7-speed gearbox is a good automatic when you want it to be. And it feels much like a racing gearbox when you put it into dynamic mode. It really has an engineered kick to it. Feels a lot like a proper sequential gearbox out of a race car. Still very smooth, very effective. And with the rocker switch, I can shift up or down with either hand. Thrust is real crazy. Peak torque is way up at 4,800, but you got to realize with these small displacement V8s, you're above $3,000 all the time anyway. You're never below $3,000 in this car. So fast. Steering is brilliant. Very light, very direct. Weighs up in a corner perfectly. Steering wheel's great. Made of carbon fiber. Very cool. One of the thinner steering wheel rims in the supercar set, meant for small English hands. It's like a spaceship, like just in terms of the minimalist cabin, you know, the futuristic nature of the whole thing, plus the fact that it really does feel, if you imagine what that Starship Enterprise going to hyperspace thing really feels like, that's what this feels like. Because I know what it really feels like. I was there. My God. Well, that's wet braking zone. That's good. Extremely, extremely fast. If this, like this is probably most people out there, this will be by far the fastest car they've ever driven. Like, it's only if you've driven the 570S at its limit that this is any slower, and it's really not. It's the same. It's the same. This is the better one because it's really not any slower, and it makes your life easier every day. The glass roof. How beautiful is the glass roof? How wonderful is a 1300 watt stereo with carbon fiber subwoofers on your daily drive? That's better than a super lightweight paper coned stereo and like hard materials for the best lap time. This does weigh 112 pounds more than the 570S, primarily because of the glass roof and the stereo. That's really it. And if you ask me, it's worth the wait. Haha, get my pun? Worth the wait? That kill me. It is worth the wait. 112 pounds to have bumping beats and an amazing view glass roof. I think that's worth it. This car absolutely rips through fuel. I have traveled 264 miles during my loan, and I filled it up twice already. Woo! Man, downsides, there are a couple. Although the doors do stay in a little tighter than the 650S, they still stick out. Can be a little tricky to park this thing sometimes. Also, let's clean the windshield there. Also, it seems that even though McLaren is like the most obsessive company in the world, they just can't figure out the key. Like, why does this car, Jesus, it's so fast. Why does this car have problems recognizing the key when I get in it? Like, this is a brand new car. There's 700 miles on it. And like, why is it having electrical issues? And like, sometimes that's not responsive, and sometimes it can't tell there's a key here. Like, why is that happening? And the answer is because it's from England, and that's that. And owning a McLaren, you buy one of these because Ferraris are too reliable now. If you want modern supercar performance with 80s supercar headaches, may I present to you McLaren. I don't mean to crap on McLaren like that. I mean, these cars they're incredible to drive. They're just incredible. But every time I drive one, it's like a brand new car. It's a press car, so it's been looked after. There's no miles on it. And yet I have electrical issues. Every single one, without fail. But when those tires start fighting for traction at the top of every single gear, you go, yeah, I'm willing to put up with some things. It really feels like the wheels want to spin inside the tires. Like it's such a struggle for this thing to find traction. Like, here's a fun factoid for you. The Porsche 911 Turbo is a full second faster than this car to 60 miles an hour, right? Full second. But by the quarter mile, this car has made almost that entire second back. The quarter mile numbers are almost the same. Isn't that crazy? It's like, that's how much faster this thing is once it hooks. You know, so the 911 Turbo's got that all-wheel drive, it's got PDK, it's got all that good stuff for the 0 to 60, but above 60, man, does this thing go. It just needs traction. That's how it works. So, that's the McLaren 570S. I said S. It's the GT. It's the 570 GT. Because I raised the nose lift to pull into this rather... Can I do it? Wow, that did a steep one. The nose lift is good on this. The 570 GT, look, it's a beautiful daily driver. It rides well. It sounds cool, although it could be louder. The gearbox is good. It's a nice place to spend your time. This Bowers & Wilkins stereo bumps. Love the glass roof. The light-colored interior plus the glass roof, it really gives it this beautiful, airy vibe to it. And even if you're a big guy like me, you know, it's a nice place to spend your time. It's fun. It turns heads. It's different from what other people are driving. It's clearly a supercar. It's clearly something special. On the other hand, there are some electronic niggles still. Some of the stitching on this leather isn't perfect. It's got some of that British handmade, almost is good enough to it, which for a very obsessive company is odd. But it's a lovely thing, and it's really smile-inducing, and oof, it gives you tingles. It's fizzy. It's got a playful character to it. It's great fun. So thanks to McLaren for letting me have a go. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.